The invitation to the company's annual gala felt like a deliberate act of cruelty. It was addressed to me, but the plus one was for my husband Michael and his new fiancée Isabel, the daughter of the company's formidable CEO. Michael, the man I had spent 10 years mentoring, molding, and promoting, had left me for a strategic alliance that would skyrocket his career. He had traded our love for a seat at the head of the table. He sent me the invitation with a note, "I'd love for you to see my success." He thought he was rubbing my nose in his triumph. He thought I was just the heartbroken ex-wife he had left behind in middle management. He had no idea that for the past 5 years, the reclusive, eccentric founder of the entire company, the one who had supposedly retired to a private island and was known only as the architect, was me. He wasn't just attending the gala, he was attending his own termination hearing, and he didn't even know it. I founded Aperture Technologies in my 20s with a single brilliant patent. But I was a creator, an introvert who hated the spotlight and the shark-infested waters of corporate politics. So I created a persona. I hired a seasoned, trustworthy executive, a man named Henderson, to be the public-facing CEO. I, the sole owner and founder, retreated into anonymity, becoming the architect, a mysterious figure who guided the company's vision from afar via encrypted emails and secure video calls. Only Henderson and the company's lawyers knew my true identity. This arrangement allowed me to focus on what I loved: innovation. I met Michael when he was a junior analyst at my own company. He was smart, charming, and fiercely ambitious. I fell for him, and for years I kept my two lives completely separate. To him, I was just Laura, a senior project manager. I quietly mentored him, guided his career, and celebrated his promotions, feeling a secret thrill as he rose through the ranks of the company I secretly owned. He never suspected a thing. His betrayal began when he caught the eye of Henderson's ambitious and ruthless daughter Isabel. He saw a shortcut to the top. The affair was swift and merciless. He left me, telling me he had outgrown me, that he was destined for bigger things. Their engagement was announced in a company-wide memo. He was fast-tracked to an executive VP position, the heir apparent. They thought they had secured their dynasty. The invitation to the gala was the final insult. It was a power play, a way to publicly solidify their victory and my defeat. I decided it was time for the architect to come out of retirement. I RSVP'd. That night I walked into the grand ballroom, not as the pitied ex-wife, but as the woman they had never truly seen. I wore a simple, elegant black dress, a stark contrast to the glittering gowns around me. Michael and Isabel saw me and smirked, whispering to each other. They thought I was brave or perhaps pathetic for showing up. The climax of the evening was the CEO's address. Henderson, looking older and more tired than usual, took the stage. "As many of you know, I will be stepping down as CEO at the end of this year. It is time for a new generation of leadership." He paused, and a spotlight found Michael and Isabel standing together, the perfect power couple. The board and our founder, the architect, have been in extensive discussions about my successor. Michael's smile was blinding. This was his moment. "And now," Henderson continued, a strange, unreadable expression on his face, "for the first time ever, our founder, the architect, has decided to address the company in person." A wave of shock and excitement went through the room. No one had ever seen the architect. The spotlight that had been on Michael and Isabel swung away, sweeping across the stunned crowd, and landed squarely on me. I stood up from my table and walked towards the stage, the entire room silent, except for the sound of my heels clicking on the marble floor. I could see Michael's face. His smile had frozen, then collapsed into a mask of pure, uncomprehending horror. Isabel's jaw was slack, her eyes wide with disbelief. I took the microphone from Henderson. "Hello," I said, my voice calm and clear echoing through the silent hall. "For those of you who don't know me, my name is Laura. And for those of you who think you do, You're mistaken. I am the architect. I founded this company on a principle of innovation and integrity. Over the past year, I have watched as one of our executives has consistently demonstrated a profound lack of both. I turned to the crowd. As of immediate, Michael is terminated for gross ethical violations and conflicts of interest. His promotion was the product of nepotism, not merit, and that is not how we do business at Aperture. I then looked at Isabel. And as for the future CEO, I will be assuming the role myself, effective immediately. Mr. Henderson will be staying on in an advisory capacity. Your services, Ms. Henderson, are no longer required. I had not only fired my ex-husband, I had just fired my ex-husband's new fiancée from her own father's company. I had let them build their castle in the sky, and then I had simply reclaimed the sky. I looked out at the sea of shocked faces, my gaze finally landing on Michael, a man so thoroughly broken he couldn't even stand. He hadn't just lost his job and his fiancée, he had just discovered that the woman he had thrown away was the very source of the power he had so desperately craved all along.